In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make an AI plane fire a flare when the player fires a flare. So we're going to do that by using a complex trigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this complex trigger, and we're in the advanced properties of this complex trigger. And what it's looking for is a particular object. It's trying to find a particular entity. And in this case, we wanted to find this player plane. So what we have to do is make sure that planes are checked because obviously it's a plane. We want to go and find that particular plane. So in this case, it's an I-16. So we go through our list here until we find our I-16, and then we add it. And then we need to make sure that it's set to the correct country. So we find our country. In this case, we have it as Russia. And then finally, we add our object's name list by clicking plus and typing in the name of the plane that we've named it in our entities there. And you hit OK, and then it'll get added. So now it knows, this complex trigger knows to find a plane that is an I-16 that's set to Russia and has the name player plane, which is this guy right there. Finally, we go to our event filter, and we need to turn on object fired flare, this guy. So it's filtering for just that. It only looks for when this particular object fires a flare. That's all it's looking for. And then when it does, we have this purple pulse right here that's coming from our selected object menu on object fired flare. When that happens, it'll go to this 1 second timer, which will pulse our command flare event. See MCU command flare. And that command flare is set to an object linked to this IL2, which is just an AI plane. And in this case, this IL2 will fire a flare. And then I just have a daisy chain. So this one will fire a flare 1 second later, this one will fire a flare 1 second later, and then this one will fire a flare 1 second later. All right, so that's how it's done. So when the player fires a flare, because we know it's a I-16 that's set to Russia and has the name player plane, when this object fires a flare, which is a player, then these objects will fire a flare in response back to the player. So let's go into the game and take a look at that. Okay, so we're in the game and I fired a flare, and as you can see, the other planes will also fire a flare. Fire another one, and they'll keep doing it as long as I have flares available. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, by all means, let me know. Have a good one.